into Tales and Traditions, where we explore the depths of Philippine literature and culture. I'm Sophia Tongol, your host, and joining me today are my co-hosts, Emmanuel Roque and Chris Federica.
Hey everyone, I am so excited to dive into another thought-provoking discussion about our Philippine literature.
And I'm Chris Federica. Today, we're spotlighting Francisco Balagtas' Florante at Laura and his portrayal of the children of the God team, while weaving in story elements, character behaviors, and how we, as students, can relate to it.
Florante at Laura is a 19th century epic poem written by Francisco Balagtas. It's celebrated for its themes love, patriotism, and morality. But beyond that, it's also a reflection of Balagtas' life and the struggles of his era. Today, we'll explore how the poem mirrors Balagtas' personal experiences and discuss how its themes resonate with us students today.
Oh, I know Francisco Balagtas. I know we tackled him in grade 8, right?
Yeah.
His full name is Francisco Balagtas Baltazar. Okay, so here is some context of it. So Balagtas wrote Florante at Laura in 1838 during his imprisonment. The story is set in the fictional kingdom of Albania, where betrayal, war, and love intertwine. But beneath this fictional setting, Balagtas encoded the struggles of the Filipino people under Spanish rule.
What's remarkable is how Balagtas used Florante at Laura as an allegory for the oppression and injustices of his time. For example, Florante's suffering and longing for justice reflect Balagtas' personal battles, particularly his own imprisonment and heartbreak.
And as students, we can relate to this, right?
Yes!
These challenges we face, whether in academics or personal life, mirror Florante's trials. He teaches us resilience and faith during hardships. One of the most moving scenes in the poem is when Florante, tied to a tree in a dark forest, reflects on his misfortunes. Instead of despairing, he says,
O Diyos ko, sa aking anong kasalanan at ako'y ginanap sa kapighatian.
This scene highlights Florante's unwavering faith despite his suffering. It's a powerful reminder that strength can come from vulnerability and reliance on divine justice.
let me ask you two. Do you think Florante's faith makes him stronger or more vulnerable in this moment?
Me. To answer this question, I would say it makes him stronger. His faith gives him hope and inner peace, even though he's physically bound.
Yeah, that's right.
I agree, but I add that his faith also shows humility. Balagtas seems to suggest that enduring hardship with faith can lead to redemption. And as students, when we face failures or overwhelming tasks, we can draw inspiration from Florante's perseverance.
We can talk about Florante and Laura without mentioning Laura and Aladdin. Let's begin with Laura. Laura, who represented loyalty and faith, her unwavering love for Florante embodies the triumph of good over evil.
And then there's Aladdin, a Muslim prince who rescues Florante. Aladdin's kindness transcends religious boundaries, showing that compassion and mercy are universal creatures.
Here's a question. Do you think Aladdin's actions reflect the idea that we are all children of God, regardless of religion?
Absolutely, yes. Balagtas highlights that faith and virtue are not tied to a specific religion. Aladdin's selflessness shows that the actions, not labels, define our connection to God.
This is so relevant to us as a student, whether we're working in group projects or supporting our peers. Kindness and understanding can bridge differences, just like Aladdin's action in the story.
Let's dive deeper into Florante at Laura by discussing its key elements, which give the story its timeless appeal. First of all, let's start with the characters. Aside from Florante at Laura, we also have Aladdin, right?
Yes.
And also Florida, whose stories parallel in the main narrative. There's also Adolfo, the antagonist. who brings much of the conflict through his betrayal and ambition.
Right, and the plot is just as compelling. It begins with Florante tied to a tree in the forest of Albania. Lamenting his misfortunes, the story then unfolds through a series of flashbacks where we learn about his noble lineage, his love for Laura, his successes as a military leader, and ultimately, the betrayal by Adolfo.
And the setting adds to the emotional weight of the story. The forest where Florante is bound symbolizes isolation and despair, while the kingdom of Albania represents the larger societal and political struggles faced by the characters.
The conflicts in this story are both internal and external. Internally, Florante struggles with his faith and emotions as he endures suffering. Externally, the characters face betrayal, war, and societal corruption, particularly through Adolfo's schemes to assert power.
The climax of the story is incredibly powerful. It's when Aladdin, despite being a Muslim prince, rescues Florante from certain death. This moment isn't just about survival. It's about bringing cultural and religious differences, showing that compassion and goodness transcend boundaries.
Exactly, Eman. And from there, we move toward the resolution. Florante and Laura are reunited, and Aladdin and Florida find their peace as well. Justice prevails when Adolfo's evil plans are thwarted, and harmony is restored in the kingdom.
The themes of Florante and Laura are universal: love, betrayal, justice, faith, and redemption. These themes reflect not only the personal struggles of the characters, but also the broader societal issues during Balagtas' time, like Spanish oppression and moral decay.
And let's not forget about the point of view.
Yes.
The story is narrated in third-person point of view, but it often shifts into Florante's perspective through his soliloquies and flashbacks, making his emotions and reflections deeply personal and relatable.
The exposition is skillfully written, beginning with Florante tied to the tree, allowing the audience to gradually uncover the layers of his backstory. This technique keeps readers engaged as they piece together his life journey.
By weaving these elements together, Balagtas doesn't just tell a story. It creates a rich tapestry of emotions, struggles, and triumphs. It's no wonder his works remains a cornerstone of Philippine literature.
And for us students, understanding these elements help us appreciate the depth and complexity of Florante and Laura. It's more than just a love story. It's a reflection of human resilience, morality, and faith. Now let's talk about Balagtas' personal life. Did you know he wrote the Florante and Laura as a reflection of his own struggles?
Yes, exactly. Balagtas' experiences with love, betrayal, and injustice shape this poem. For example, Florante's love for Laura reflects Balagtas' own unfilled love for Maria Asuncion Rivera, or MAR, when we tackled it on grade 8, whom he referred to as Acelia,
Okay, Celia.
or Caicelia. His imprisonment is mirrored in Florante's suffering in the forest.
It's amazing how Balagtas transformed his pain into art. As students, this teaches us that our struggles can fuel creativity and growth.
How about this? Let's make it personal. As we discuss in suffering and redemption, how do you think each of us can relate to the story of Florante and Laura?
Oh, that's a good idea, Sophia. I start this conversation. No, I can really see myself in Florante. Why? Like him, I've faced moments of betrayal, whether from situations or people. But instead of losing hope, I've learned to turn to faith and inner strength. Much like Florante does, his journey reminds me to trust that struggles can lead to something meaningful, like what happened to me in this career.
And I think I relate to most to Laura. Her unwavering faith in Florante, even when everything seems against her, is something like I admire. Like Laura, I've experienced moments where I had to hold on to hope and loyalty, even in uncertain times. Her character inspires me to stay strong and trust in the goodness of people I care about.
For me, I see a part of myself in Aladdin. His compassion and ability to rise above his personal struggles resonate with me. There have been times when I've had to put aside my own challenges to help others, just like Aladdin did when he saved Florante. His actions remind me that kindness and mercy can bridge differences and make a difference in someone's life.
It's amazing how we all can find pieces of ourselves in Balagtas characters, right?
Yes.
It goes to show how universal the themes of Florence and Laura are: love, resilience, compassion, and faith are things we can all relate to, no matter where we are in life.
And that's why this story endures. It's not just about the characters, it's about seeing ourselves in the struggles and triumphs.
Absolutely. Balagtas' message is clear. Suffering isn't the end, but a path to growth and redemption.
So, to our all listeners, think about this. Which character in Florence and Laura do you relate the most? How has their story inspired you to face your own challenges? Now, let's connect Florence and Laura to our own experiences. What lessons can modern readers, especially students, take from the story?
One key lesson is perseverance. No matter how overwhelming life's challenges may seem, staying true to our values can help us overcome them.
Another is empathy. Just like Aladdin showed compassion for Florante, we can learn to support others in their struggles.
Here's a reflective question for our listeners. How do you find faith or hope during our moments of struggle?
We love to hear your stories. Share them with us on social media and let's keep this conversation going.
Thank you for joining us in exploring Florante at Laura. Remember, literature not only entertains but also enlightens, giving us timeless lessons about faith, hope, and resilience.
And don't forget to subscribe to Tales and Tradition for more exploration of Philippine literature and culture. Until next time, and keep reading and keep believing.
Again, this is our podcast about
Children of God
and entitled
Florante at Laura
by Francisco Balagtas.